We should never allow the government to decide what is acceptable speech and what is unacceptable speech. We should penalize behaviors, not opinions, and not speech. If you start trying to regulate speech, you start trying to regulate thoughts, you start trying to regulate beliefs rather than behaviors, there's no way that you're not going to abridge the constitutional rights of millions of Americans.
Many of you have seen some of my videos that I've done about little Omron Dacniche. I did one for him about Superman. And what got my interest in doing one for him was, like all of you, I'm a Superman fan. And there was a film release that came out in 2006 on DVD that Warner Brothers marketed of Richard Donner's original concept for Superman 2. And I've been wanting for roughly probably 13 years to see the movie in its entirety, because as you're going to see in this video today, when they marketed the video, I believe that Warner Brothers made a defect in the DVD, because you're going to see in this video today a photograph, a scan that I made of the surface. And it is definite damage that was made on the disc surface. I did not expose this to sunlight. It's been that way since that first day that I bought it at the store. And anyway, recently I found the same movie. They did finally market it on Blu-ray. But it's taken me 13 years, at least that long, to find another copy of it. Because when I first bought the movie, they said it was a different version of Superman 2 than they had done originally when it was actually theoretically released. And I never knew it, but Richard Donner had left as director of the movie halfway through the movie itself, and they ended up having to go with another director. I never knew that until I found this other version, and I thought, well, maybe this is another Superman movie that they made that never made it to the movie theaters. And yes, a lot of it is new material, but at the same time, every time I tried to watch the movie, I found that my DVD player would stop playing at a certain point. And so I went back and I thought, well, maybe it's scuffed up or something. So I looked at the surface of it and found out it was defective. Well, the reason I say it's been 13 years is because by the time I found out that it was defective, I couldn't return it. I bought it at Walmart. And they have very strict policies of movie returns. Most of them will not even take movies back. Once you open them, they say it's yours. You're stuck with it. You can't return it for any reason. And with Warner Brothers, I think they were mass producing so many different movies by 2005 and 2006 that they marketed this rare version of Superman 2 thinking, okay, some will probably buy one of these defective discs that we've mass produced, but it won't matter because we've gotten enough people out there to watch it and to buy it that they could justify losing some customers, because I knew probably they figure, it doesn't matter what happens. We've marketed it. They'll just go back and buy another copy. And that's what our society has become, like a flush it society. You buy something, don't work, throw it away and get a new one. That's what people do. They don't try to save things anymore. They don't try to preserve stuff that they find. They'll use it once or twice or whatever, and then they just chunk it, and then later in years they'll go back and hope maybe they'll find it somewhere else. And so with Warner Brothers itself as a company, I'd have to say that they've done pretty fairly getting good product on the market for most of all the stuff I've ever found. But then in this one instance, when they marketed it back in 2006, that's when I first bought it, you're going to see on the front cover it says, for the first time ever. That tells you I did buy this originally when it came out. But anyway, the disc, I almost want to say it's paper thin, because if you shine the surface of the front of the disc up to the light, it shines straight through to the other side. And this proves beyond doubt to me that the surface is damaged by the process of them manufacturing it. This is not from sunlight damage. This is damage that was caused by them manufacturing it defectively. And if you have a copy yourself and you see this video, you're going to say, yeah, mine's the same way as that. Well, this proves that Warner Brothers knew they mass-produced this thing with defective materials. Because over time, look at how long it's been, 13 years, and they still offer this movie on Blu-ray now. Because when I bought it on DVD, there was no such thing as Blu-ray then. There was only DVD, that's it. And so I have gone back, and I'm going to try now and show you guys some pictures of the surface of this disc. And just to explain to all of you the fact that the companies themselves, they don't take responsibility for defective merchandise. I've done other videos too about the subject of bootlegs. They keep telling you all the time, it hurts the economy, it hurts the industry when people get copies or bootleg copies made up of movies and they give them to other people. Ain't it funny? They don't take the initiative to try and charge countries like China, who bootleg movies all the time, and they don't do anything to them. Why? Well, you say, well, because they just don't have a police system over there, and yet that is a communist nation. And now that the United States is a communist nation, you wonder, is the industry doomed now because the Chinese and the Communist Party of the United States aren't going to care whether or not people bootleg things anymore? I'd say, yeah. Because the whole thing about communism is the mass industrial complex. That means socialist communists are going to push about military. They're going to push about the proletariat socialist attitude that the public is now in existence as manual labor to produce products, and not so much that it's going to be about a person's individual liberties or their freedoms to live the way they want to. And so what you see in China right now, they don't adhere to the global world pollution control mandates. They don't. I guarantee you they're not part of the Paris Climate Control Agreement, because they're a part of the primary nations in this world who do not adhere to the greenhouse theory, which is they're pumping pollution into the air and it's destroying the ozone and everything else. They don't believe in global warming anyway. The Chinese don't. They may say they do, but they don't take any initiative to control how much fluorocarbons they push into the atmosphere or any of the other green footprint crap that the socialists keep talking about all the time. So if the United States is on the same level as the Chinese, I'd say we're probably going to be another industrial complex nation that will be exactly like China, because we've already now accepted communism. We've accepted socialism in our philosophies as a country, because now they've just taken over everything. So we're going to become another China. But the reason I bring that up is that China has always been a country that has taken no responsibility for bootlegging movies that are made in the United States, and you'll find them flooded all over Europe and everywhere else. And with this thing that the United States has created, it's called the Intellectual Property Society. Groups are the ones that control everything about people using product names and logos and all the rest of it, and that's how they control everything, and they make money off of somebody else's success. But that is what China's been doing also, but they're not admissible or liable under U.S. law for doing the things that they do. And, the United States is going to be just like China, I promise you. But I hope this is interesting to you about what I found as a consumer, that I found a video I really wanted to watch, and I ended up spending double the amount again just to get the movie in a format that I could watch on my player, and I had to go with Blu-ray. And this damage you've seen now in this video proves that Warner Brothers as a company are only concerned about quantity, not quality. They mass produce these things not caring whether or not some of them are going to be damaged, because they're hoping you're just going to chunk it in the garbage can and go out and buy another one, which is what I ended up having to do. I waited 13 years, though, because I figured it's not worth it, I mean, I've seen the movie already once and twice. Personally, I think Superman 2, the TV version, was much better because it had all those other scenes added into it. If you haven't seen the TV version, there was Superman out flying a Concorde that was on its way to Paris. Superman was... I'm just trying to think of some of the other scenes. There's just so many. Like at the end of the movie, they had that shot in the deleted scenes where he destroyed the Fortress of Solitude. That was in the TV version. There was just so many other scenes that were in the television version that ABC aired, and it's never been televised since. And they never even had it in the Blu-ray release. I mean, if anything, you should have put it in there as a deleted scene. They did that as deleted scenes when they marketed that extended version of the original Superman. If you remember, there were other shots of him when he was walking towards Lex Luthor's underground subway entrance, shooting him with bullets, fire, ice, all the rest of it. That stuff was televised on television. And there were other scenes even beyond that the television stations or the networks, the ABC aired, and it's never even been seen again. I have about 5 or 6 deleted scenes I found from a collector. Superman was saving the Girl Scouts at the Hollywood sign. Miss Tessmacher was being fed to Lex Luthor's alligators that were in the bottom of that pit. All of that stuff's never been marketed by Warner Brothers again. And thankfully, I was able to post those things, and I've had comments from people over the years that I've done it. But stuff like that, you think, if you're going to spend the kind of money they expect you to on these extended versions and all this bonus material, and then you find out they don't have it in there, it's like either they, as the actual producer and distributor of the movie, they don't have it. It means that the network itself still owns the copyrights for those scenes because they aired it. In other words, Warner Brothers doesn't have the copyrights for all those added bonus scenes they aired on television. That the ABC network got those or acquired them and then aired it, and then that's the last time they ever were permitted to show it again on TV. Another time was when they launched the missiles, and Miss Tessmacher was helping Superman get away. There were the 2 guys trying to abort the missile, and one of them says, it's heading towards Hackensack, New Jersey. And they say, what's in Hackensack? That shot's not in any of the bonus features either. All of that stuff was aired on the TV version, but not ever released as deleted or alternate scenes in the DVD releases that Warner Brothers marketed. So that leaves a lot of question marks to you, to me, of why don't they ever market those things, and yet the network aired them on television. They never did. They never have marketed those things. So that'll leave you a little question mark in your mind about who owns what and why can't the people who see these things on television, not have the chance to see them again. Maybe the intellectual property company says, well, y'all don't need to see those things anymore. What does that sound a lot like? The communists, the socialists tell you those things. You don't need a gun. You don't need freedom. You don't need liberty. You don't need anything. Because that's how the socialists act. You're nobody. You are whatever they tell you you are. And that's what communism and socialism is. I don't care what a liberal tries to tell you. Communism and socialism is the end of a nation's liberties and freedoms. America now is an oppressed nation. That means you are now under the control of a subversive, submissive dictatorship, under a regime. And Obama himself, if you don't think he's not going to show up again, folks, in the White House, you are wrong. He is going to show up, because Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama, Obama himself is going to be standing right next to Joe Biden's butt up there at the White House with Kamala Harris and all the rest of those socialist communists. And they're going to be telling the United States, we're your whole life now. You are nobody. You have nothing, because you now forfeit everything you own. Everything in your house is now ours. And they're going to probably show up very, very quickly hereafter, after the inauguration, and they're going to just take it. And it could very likely be these massive Black Panther, vigilante groups that the socialists are going to create. Because you know who they're going to be representing? All these drug dealers that she expunged their criminal records. That's what they're going to make them into. These are going to be vigilante, socialist, communist groups that are going to be sent to people's homes to confiscate your gun, to confiscate your property, your food, to do whatever they want to your family. You know, rape, molest, kill. And that's what Ossoff and all the other people want to do. They want to create sanctuaries of all the states of the Union. And then that way they can just come in at will and shoot anybody they want to, because there will be no law and order. There will be no police. They've already been saying that over and over again during the protests. Defund the police. That means get rid of the police. Then there is no law and order. There's nothing. So it is a scary world we live in, because people want this. People wanted communism. They want socialism. The liberals themselves, they are so arrogant about them feeling like we have accomplished what we always wanted to do in this country, and that was to destroy what it was founded to be, to destroy every single thing about what America was when it was first founded. And now they've accomplished it. Now they have destroyed this country. So for all of you, I say, you wanted it? Great. You've got it. Live with it. Because whatever happens to this country, it is on your head. Every liberal who did these things, your conscience, if you even have one, is going to be burned into your memory from here until the end of your life, because now you're going to see what it is you wanted for this country, and that was its total destruction.
hug?
I saw our picture on your shirt and wanted to say we love you. Be safe in Aleppo now.
I'm going to sing a song about a square, and I want you to look all around your room for one. But remember, a square has 4 straight sides, and each side is just as long as the other, and it has 4 corners that are the same size. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a square out there. Can you guess the square? Do you think that you can find it? You must be aware of the shape of a square if you really want to find it. So look with care for the shape of a square.
You can come and play now. You can come and play now. Come into the door. عندنيش.
قديش عمرك؟
4 سنين.